All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not gone through the first part one of this particular class, then the second class would be little difficult for you to understand. Although we've done Aries Lagna, transit for the Aries rising or Aries Rashi yesterday, and we will be covering other Lagnas like Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Virgo, Leo, Leo, Virgo, Libra. But it will be another set of experience for each one of you. Shashak ji did a very good job yesterday where he had asked people to show their interest for uh, for understanding their own chart. So for the Taurus Lagna, we've got two people saying one was Sneha and the other one was Tina. And out of these two people, Tina was the one who actually requested first, right? So, I mean, this principle doesn't apply to every other Lagna, but uh, we can do for Tina. Tina has also requested me yesterday as well. So let me, open up the Prashra light. And ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you that Richa ji from Richa Luthra ji from Richa Astrovision has made a fantastic video on Saturn and Ketu, how Saturn and Ketu is going to impact 2023, and how and why people are losing jobs and why there is chaos all around. Each one of you should must watch and learn from her video. So you can go to Rich Astrovision and just find the latest video that she's done. It's a fantastic work, she has done. And I also congratulate Arjun for starting his own channel. He did his first video on his YouTube channel. Congratulations, Arjun, as well.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we will go to our Prashra light. And Tina ji, could you please share your details with me?
Hare Krishna Guruji.
Yeah.
Sir, my date of birth is 31st May 1982.
31st May 1982.
And
Okay.
time is 6:30, 6:13
What, AM or PM?
AM, sir, AM, 6:13 AM.
6:13 AM. And the place of birth is?
Kathal, Haryana.
Haryana, Kathal. Okay. All right. Kathal, how do you spell Kathal? K-A?
Kaithal.
I'm sorry, okay. Kaithal.
AL.
Kathal.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you see, ladies and gentlemen, she is Taurus rising, and this is what we are supposed to do here. I'll make this a very, very interactive session, and I want a lot of participations as well. Saturn for a Taurus Lagna is a Ati Yoga Karak and a Badak Graha. Remember this.
Correct.
Lot of people will say, oh, for Taurus, it is, Ati Yoga Karak, the transit is going to be fantastic and this and that. But I must tell you that this particular Saturn for Taurus is not always good. Not always good. I'll be very honest with you. And for her, Saturn is also Atma Karak and it is also retrograde. So it becomes an extremely important graha for her. Extremely important graha for this horoscope. That is point number one. Badak, Ati Yoga Karak, Atma Karak, and also it is retrograde. Now, what I'll do here is I'll just write down a small counting here to make things easy. I'll tell you how you can understand the Navtara. So I'll just write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Always try to make things easy. So she is born in the nakshatra of Uttra Falguni, which starts from Surya. So sun is the
Moon.
Janma, moon,
Mars.
Mars,
Mars is Vipat.
and then we got Rahu.
Rahu.
Okay,
Jupiter.
Shema. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Then Jupiter.
Then we got Jupiter.
Saturn.
Okay. Then we've got Saturn.
Mercury.
Then we've got Mercury. Then we've got
Ketu and Venus.
and Venus. The problematic situations will lie at 3,
Mars, Jupiter,
5, and 7.
and Mercury.
The highest, level of issues can be caused. But on the same time, you see, for her, first 2 padas of Mars, the Nishta, she got to be careful. On the same time, Rahu is Shema, is fine. And then the last 2 padas here and the first 2 padas for Jupiter, she has to be careful. So for her, out of the 9 padas that you see in Aquarius, only how many
3 is
padas? How many
3.
padas are good?
4 padas.
Only 4.
4.
3,
Only
I'm
4.
sorry, 3 padas here,
3
4
padas.
and 2. So
2.
out of this, only 4 padas are going to be something good. Okay. But then we go to Mars and Jupiter. She got to be careful here. Okay. Now, one thing is sorted. One thing is sorted, that how does this transit looks like? So my first observation would be it is going to be a transit with mixed results, 50-50. Okay, it is not going to be fantastic. A lot of people will say, oh, Taurus Lagna, Shani Dasham Bhav mein aa rahe, bahut acha, bahut acha. Okay, she got to be careful. She has to be careful. Now, during the first 2 padas, where is the Mars? Mars is in the 5th house.
5th house.
5th house is from where we see our future, our children, mantra, right? It is also Lakshmi Khana. It is skill, love, romance. It is basically skill area. Now, what will Saturn do here is that suddenly, from 3-4 days, you could see, Tina, that you could get more focused towards your sadhana. Are you feeling it?
Yes, Guruji. Even this is going from the last 3
April.
months.
Yeah,
last
April.
3 months,
You know what happened? See, April, this transit has already happened in the April,
Yes. Lots of changes have taken place from April. In fact, February. It started in February.
And you know what? I'll tell you a secret today. And these are again golden words. And you'll be surprised by this secret. You know, which is the most painful place in the Kundli? Forget about Yog Karak, Marak, favorable, unfavorable, exalted, debilitated. Forget about everything. Just one place in your horoscope is the most difficult place, and the most painful place is where you have your Atma Karak. Simple. Simple. Wherever you have your Atma Karak, you are working around that house every single day, every hour. Your soul is thinking about that house and the area. So what is she thinking all the time? Saturn being an Atma Karak in the 5th house, children. She cannot take her mind out of children. How will they grow? How to maintain discipline? How to make them organized?
Yes, Guruji.
All the time. And that is going to remain till her last breath. My Atma Karak is in the 3rd house. When my brother was alive, I was thinking of him all the time. When he's gone, I'm still thinking of him all the time, and I'm always communicating. Whole day. It looks fantastic for first 5-6 consultations in the day. And as the day goes, I start getting tired. This happens with everyone. At times, it happens that you wish to do nothing that day. You want to run away from everything. You would love to run away from a situation where you have your Atma Karak, because you get tired of that thing. You get just immensely tired of that thing where your Atma Karak is. If you've not realized it, you'll realize it when the time comes. How many of you can relate to what I'm saying? That you say Atma Karak, this, that. Atma Karak is a pain. It's an absolute pain. Trust me. When you understand Jyotish at a higher level, and if someone who knows Jyotish would know what I'm trying to tell you, it's a pain. And people with Atma Karak, Saturn, and that too retrograde, she's going back and checking things again and again related to the 5th house, related to children, her spirituality, how much has she done, what is left. Suddenly that will be evoked. Suddenly you would want to learn something more also. Maybe you would want to jump into palmistry, you want to jump into Vastu, you want to say, मैं कुछ और भी करती हूँ साथ में. Yes or no? Are you planning?
True, it's true.
See, and now Saturn will make her work there. Saturn is not going to make you sit. You know what? Out of all the Rashis, Aquarius is one Rashi because of which you are born. You are born because of Aquarius. Ra, she. Ra is Rahu, she is Ketu. You are born because of Aquarius, because you have hopes, wishes, and desires. You live on a hope, right? You always live on a hope. And these desires give you pain. That is the responsibility of Rahu, to give you desires. You get desires, and you give opportunity for Rahu to open his office. And then he opens his office in Virgo, where you have your Shadripus. You make mistakes and he enjoys. He gives you money, he fulfills your desires, and then you utilize them on your Shadripus, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moh, Ahankar, Mas, Madira. You do it there, and you are stuck. You're badly stuck. You lose your spirituality there. And what is Saturn going to do when Saturn is going to enter Satabisha for her? The responsibility of the Saturn here is to tell Rahu that, hey, look, Rahu, I understand you are Maya. I understand you are illusion. I understand you create desires in the minds of the souls. And you make them suffer as well, because they give up in front of their Shadripus. But now that I am here, I will give this native an opportunity to rectify or to come out of his Maya or in an illusionary world, which is your second house. You know what will happen to you, Tina, when you know this Saturn goes in Satabisha?
जी गुरुजी.
You will give up many of your taste buds. Many. You will give up. You might turn into sattvic or a vegan or will say मैं आज के बाद ये नहीं खाऊंगी. आपकी लाइफ में कोई ऐसा इवेंट आएगा, डिफिकल्ट इवेंट. आप मंदिर जाएंगे, you'll go to a temple और आप मन्नत मांगेंगे कि आज के बाद मैं ये चीज कंज्यूम नहीं करूंगी. मैं जो मेरे को सबसे अच्छी एक चीज लगती थी मैं उसको छोड़ के आ रही हूँ, मेरी ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर दो. Like people quit drinking, smoking, onion, garlic, or one of the favorable things. And also, second house, where you have your Rahu, is where you also have your Rishtedari, your Kutumbha. Definitely some reform will happen related to your wealth, your property, expansion of the property, wealth, and definitely a reform will happen to your near and dear ones. आपके रिश्तेदारी में कोई reform आएगा. Because Shema is all about expansion. It is going to expand. Second house is also your brain. I must tell you, the forehead, जहाँ पे आप तिलक लगाते हो. Suddenly you'll start doing certain, activities where your soul can get a rejuvenation. It will be the time to control your Rahu, to make your Rahu disciplined. And in this time, I would request you to do maximum Vishnu Sahasranama and maximum Durga Devi mantras. It is only the Ma Kali that can take care of Rahu. You know why? Because Rahu is lord of two tithis, Amavasya and Ashtami. ये दो तिथियां राहु के पास हैं. और इन दोनों तिथियों में जिनका जन्म हुआ होता है, people who are born in these two tithis, they should be either Krishna devotee or Ma Durga devotee. Especially if you are born on Amavasya, you should be an avid Ma Kali's devotee. Ma Kali is nobody else but Durga. And if you're born on Ashtami, you should be a Krishna devotee. You should be a Krishna devotee. And this will make you visit Krishna temples. This will make you visit Kali temples. You may go to Calcutta and you may do Kali darshan. This will. And you will go with your children. Because Rahu is basically fifth. Your natal Rahu is fifth from where the Saturn is transiting. You may also take your relatives along. Or at least your family, your own kutumbha. Shashankji, you want to say something?
So Guruji, a quick question. So when we say that the Saturn enters Aquarius, it will activate the Mars and Rahu. So I get that, right? But do we look at, since 11th is co-owned by Rahu and Saturn, so Rahu is activated throughout the transit? Or we don't look at that at all?
Of course, the first thing that gets activated is Jupiter. No, sorry. The first thing that gets activated is Sun and Mercury. Why Sun and Mercury? Who will tell me this? Karkas.
The Karkas.
Okay, what is Sun? What is Mercury? Mercury is finance. Mercury is intelligence, calculation. Suddenly she will become calculative. Activation. Saturn,
so the Lagna gets activated, right?
Yes.
Because Sun and Mercury are sitting there?
Absolutely. You know what will happen to her in this situation is, suddenly she will start looking at Jyotish in a very, very mathematical way. At times, people take Jyotish in a very theoretical way. But there are very few astrologers who take Jyotish in a mathematical way. She will suddenly start third from here, fifth from here, seventh from here, ninth from here. दिमाग उधर चलना लग जाएगा. That's the first thing that will happen. Then sun will get activated. Children and home. She will start taking care of her health. Suddenly she will realize that she has to go on a walk. And then Saturn and Rahu obviously will get activated.
So the Rahu flavor will be with her throughout the transit, basically, not just Shatabisha.
The Rahu flavor is with everyone throughout the life.
Right.
I must tell
Right.
you, because it is because of the Rahu, it is the desire to have a cup of tea is also Rahu. Desire to attend this class is also Rahu. So that flavor of Rahu is that it's just that it amplifies. It will be amplified. She would want to learn new technology. She would want to add new technology, and she want to work hard by using that technology. That is a general statement of Saturn transit in Aquarius. New technology around the world will be coming. People will get more calculative, organized. But you know what? How many plane crashes you're looking at? Because because it is actually Saturn and Rahu energy dealing with Mars right now. So many fire accidents and plane crashes and accident, this and that. You're seeing bomb blast yesterday. So that is happening at the mundane level as well. But what is happening with you? Suppose she would have Mars here with Rahu. Very dangerous for her. Making an Angarak yoga here. She got to be careful. But then what is happening with you individually is something that matters. Now, Saturn is also going to aspect 12th house, where she has Venus. And Venus is her Lagnesh. Suddenly she will become more disciplined, isolated, and she would want to do some meditations. From there, Saturn is going to aspect the 4th house as well. What is 4th house for her? It's a burning house. It's a Dagd Rashi house. And the Lord is Surya. Where is Surya sitting? In the Lagna. Suddenly she will have a burning desire to do certain reforms for the home. घर पे ये खराब है, इसको ठीक करते हैं, इसको ठीक करते हैं, ये करते हैं, वो करते हैं. Are you planning something like that? कि मुझे घर पे ये सब ठीक करना है, ये ऑर्गेनाइज करना है, ये काफी लंबे समय से ठीक नहीं है, अब इसको ठीक करेंगे.
सर हाँ, ऐसा चीजें आ रही हैं अभी माइंड में ना. जितने भी आप चीजें बता रहे हो ना, वो सब माइंड में आ रही हैं. आपने बोला कि नई चीज मैं कुछ करना चाह रही हूँ, तो हाँ, मेरा इंटरेस्ट सडनली जो है लोगो मेकिंग की साइड चला गया है काफी ज्यादा. अकॉर्डिंग टू एस्ट्रोलॉजिकल चार्ट हम कैसे प्लान कर सकते हैं किसी का भी लोगो लाइक दैट. तो मैं मतलब उसमें मेरे को इंटरेस्ट आ रहा है. रिसर्च जो है उसमें मेरी चल रही है ऑलरेडी. और घर में भी अभी जैसे मुझे होता है कि मैं ऑर्गेनाइज करूं, सब कुछ ढंग से करूं. और मेडिटेशन भी सर चल रहा है कि मेरा इंटरेस्ट और बढ़ रहा है कि मैं इसको और प्रोडक्टिव या और अच्छा कैसे करूं. पर बाधक भी है, वो भी ट्रू है कि मुझे घर के जो काम होते हैं वो अकॉर्डिंगली करने पड़ते हैं टाइमली, ताकि सबको सारी सर्विसेज जो है वो टाइम से मिले. तो कहीं ना कहीं मैं एक बंध जाती हूँ कि मेरे को इसी टाइम, यही मेरे पास टाइम है, बस इसके बाद मैं नहीं कर सकती. कई बार इवनिंग में नहीं कर पाती, बहुत सारे कोई लोग आ गए, कोई घर की कोई टास्क है वो करनी है, तो वो शाम का टाइम फिर मेरा रह जाता है. तो ये सब चल रहा है सर अभी.
And I must tell you one thing here, that Shani has already lot of baggage of your karmas, being an Atmakara Graha. Right? While doing these transformations in your life, it is not going to be easy. It is going to be painful. You will not be able to manage certain things in life. You'll see as if आपको बच्चों को लगेगा कि you're not able to give them 100%, which will give you pain, which will give you stress. And even the children will also feel the same. Their mom is overly busy and she's not contributing to what she should do during this transit. Definitely. I must tell you that. You got to be careful with these things as well. Okay? Right? I think her connection is gone. Rahu is actually working on her mind. So for Taurus Lagna, it is not an easy transit, I must tell you. For Taurus Lagna, it is Yog Karak and Badak. And if Saturn is your Atma Karak, you got to be more careful. Saturn is retrograde. Who will tell me what happens when Saturn is retrograde? Kya hota hai? Come on, tell me. What happens when Saturn is retrograde in the chart?
It will go and correct the things, go forth and back and always try to correct the things
What else?
repeatedly.
What else?
The person will have an opportunity to reconnect the things and वापस से कुछ opportunities मिलती हैं to restart the work which you have left somewhere.
Mhm.
Saturn is a slow moving planet, and where it is retrograde, it will be more slow. It will give more difficulty related to 5th house, as well as the aspects 3, 7, and 10 aspects, wherever it will put. Third aspect is
What better I can get? What better I can hear?
It will become a person will
Overly
become
disciplined
obsessive,
कर देता है.
obsessive
A
about
person
doing.
would be
repetitively
OCD'd about that
repetitively
house.
actions.
Yeah, repetitive actions.
The person
Because
will
they
try to
become
become
change होता है इसमें,
perfect.
person change
The person will try to achieve perfection.
Okay, I know.
Make more disciplined.
Yeah, you know what? A retrograde Saturn is something which gives you pain slowly. It will give you sorrows that you have to take for longer time in your life.
correct.
It
It
is
will
not.
become more slow.
It is not a sorrow which will just come and go. The purpose of Saturn is to give you sorrow. You think the Saturn gives you everything. Saturn gives you everything, but the primary goal of Saturn is to give you sorrow. Because Rahu is giving you desires. And Saturn is giving you karma. So, what is karma basically? Karma is when you heat your desires, when you give Agni to your desires. That is karma. You have a desire to buy a good home, a good car, you'll have to burn yourself. That's what Saturn says. And to burn yourself, it is never an easy thing. It brings lot of sorrows. So in the 5th house for her, Saturn, Atma Karak, she will feel sorrow. She will feel sorrowful. Or there will be sorrows related to children. Children may not perform. Or maybe her skills. She's trying to develop skills. So this Saturn will tell her that, see, when you're doing something wrong, everyone knows that you're doing wrong. You don't have to tell that person. सबको पता होता है कि आप अगर कुछ गलत कर रहे हो, you know from inside. So with this Saturn retrograde in the 5th house, she will revise her skills. She'll go back and check that what wrong she has been doing. She will set that thing right. Especially there are people, what happens is that I see a lot of tarot card readers, they have little bit of knowledge, or especially people practicing numerology. They don't have intense knowledge and they start practicing consultations. They know what is right, what is wrong. At that point of time, they realize during such transits that they are doing wrong. They have to rectify, which will increase their sorrow that, oh, they've been doing wrong. ये कितनी देर से गलत करते आए. Absolutely. So they'll go back and check. You see, what is 8th house basically? 8th house is the Nija dosha. 8th house is a house of Nija dosha. When you have planets in the 8th house, These are the crimes that you have done yourself in the past with your own intention. These are very advanced level things. 8th house is Nija dosha. Nija means personal. When you've done certain things personally wrong, then you will get certain planets in the 8th house. And then you will have to come back and settle those things. So it is going to be a mixed transit for her with some changes and challenges related to 2nd house, 5th house, 4th house, even the 7th house of partnerships and income. When it comes to income, during the Rahu transit, during the transits in Shatabisha, things will be fine. But especially during the transits of Dhanishta, in the Dhanishta, she'll be more focused towards spirituality than earning. And in the Jupiter, she has to be very careful with diseases, health, problems, enemies, competition,
Rogue.
rogue, karza. She got to be careful with that. Yes, Deepti, what is what you want to ask?
So my question is that when we are studying only Saturn transit, but in April when Jupiter will move to her 12th house, it'll give a Jupiter-Venus conjunction. So will the universe help her in a way by falling in love with some kind of dharma or guru, and will help her process this difficult transition? And also when Rahu will move to her 8th house, it'll be a Rahu Ketu conjunction in her 8th house, deep research.
So there are two questions that you've asked in it. The first thing is, there's no Jupiter-Venus conjunction happening. First of all, it is that Jupiter is moving on her natal Venus. Okay, so that's the right statement. Did you get it? Yes? Jupiter is going to move on the natal Venus.
Right.
Venus is her Lagnesh.
Yes.
Whenever Jupiter moves on the Venus, or you have a Jupiter-Venus conjunction, that is the best yoga to become a professional astrologer. Best yoga. I must tell you, because both the gurus are giving you energy in one home. People who have Jupiter and Venus, those people will become professional astrologers in their life. That is the best yoga to become professional in any field, especially in the field of spirituality. ये बात आप याद रखें. It is a pathetic yoga for personal life, but it is a fantastic yoga if you want to do anything pro. If you want to become a pro in something, you should have Venus Jupiter together. And whenever Jupiter transit over the natal Venus, it will give her a lot of professional skills, lots of professional skills. It will be a transformation, and the transformation energy is going to come from a beam of two energies, devotion as well as learning. Learning is Jupiter, devotion is Venus. And this will happen during this transit, starting from April. And that is the time when Saturn will be in Rahu, the expansion of professionalism, the expansion of the work. Now everything will start correlating. And now also, this will also happen in when the Rahu goes in the 11th house, transits from October onwards, and Ketu goes in the 5th for her, which is again a very good transit for her. Again, a good transit for her. We'll discuss Rahu transit as well as the Jupiter transit, but I don't want to mix it here. But it is a good, genuine question that you've asked. Because if I do this, the other two transits along with 3 eclipse, जिसमें से 2 सोलर इक्लिप्स हैं और एक लूनर इक्लिप्स भी है, तो फिर हम सिर्फ एक ही आज लगन कर पाएंगे पूरी क्लास में. Only one, because we have 3 eclipses coming in this year. 2 solar eclipses and 1 lunar. Although ये 2 eclipse भारत में सिर्फ एक ही एक्टिव होगा, 2 एक्टिव नहीं होंगे, बट उनका इम्पैक्ट कुंडली में आता है. The impact will be there. So we will make separate discussions on eclipses, because eclipse is a wonderful opportunity in life to become spiritual and ask yourself, कि भाई, stop yourself and start doing certain mantras, start evoking certain energies inside you. Eclipse is always an opportunity to give up your shadripus. But when you do this, you get sorrows. That's it. Every time a thing is taken from you that you really love will give you a sorrow. And that's the eclipse of your life. Simple. So she will also have 3 opportunities this year. Yes.
सर एक चीज मुझे मेंशन करनी थी यहीं पे, जैसे ही ये ट्रांजिट हुआ ना, सैटर्न जब 11th में आया, जैसे ही उसके बाद से मेरे मदर की हेल्थ इंप्रूव होनी शुरू हुई है. उससे पहले वो पिछले 15 दिनों से काफी बीमार चल रहे थे.
Okay.
उसके बाद वो इम्प्रूव हुए हैं. दूसरी चीज ये कि लास्ट मंथ से जो मेरा जो इंटरेस्ट है वो शिव रुद्राष्टकम सुनने की तरफ काफी ज्यादा बढ़ा है. मतलब मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है उसको सुनना. मैंने आज तक कभी एक्चुअल में उससे सुना नहीं था.
Yeah.
जी.
So that is good. That is fantastic. Why this is happening, you must understand to understand the current position of Surya. You know, Surya is in Sampurna Digbala from 14th of January. Yes or no? Makara.
Yes, sir.
And Surya is
Yes,
your
sir.
4th lord.
Saturn, the transit Saturn is have a drishti, 7 drishti on it.
You understand? So it will definitely improve your mother's health. Definitely. Shani is taking care of Surya himself. Himself is taking care. And it is rare when Shani is, Surya is looking at the moon sign, 4th house here, the 3rd house here. Okay. So where is your sun transiting here? Looking at your Chandra sign, Cancer. And you see here what energy Saturn will give. There's no planet here. Do you have any planet here? No planet. That's another rule I'm going to tell you. If there is no planet and sun is here, it will definitely influence the lord of that house. Definitely influence it. And your health of your mother will further improve within this 1 month, for sure.
And Guruji, it's so right, because she's talking about the health of her mother, and that's like 6th from where the Saturn is transiting. So she's
Absolutely.
exactly thinking about that.
Exactly. That is when you started thinking now that she is improving. Suddenly, if something goes down, you'll be on the toes again. That's what this transit does. Okay, can we take Gemini now? Let's see for Gemini.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you so much.
So for Gemini, we've got how many people? We've got Rachiji and we've got Disha. So let's take for Disha. Okay, Disha, please share your birth details.
So 27 March 79.
27th March 1979. Yeah.
Mumbai.
Time.
12:10 p.m.
Here we go. Now this is something fantastic. You learn a lot from here, right? Now for her, Saturn is Bhagesh. Okay, Bhagya Swami. एक बात याद रखना, always remember this thing. Whenever Saturn is Bhagya Swami, nothing in life is easy. Basic principle. You should know who is your Bhagya Swami. And your Bhagya behaves like that. Golden rule. I have seen so many Gemini rising people for whom life based on Bhagya is not easy. It's a very cold Bhagya. A lot of things will come with sheer hard work and sheer spirituality. Good communication, prakram. And here Saturn is Amatya Karak. There it was Atma Karak. Whenever a planet is Amatya Karak, he is going to push you a lot. He is going to make you stand on your toes. People say, you know, Amatya Karak is a planet on which you can rely for money or finances. But he is like that coach, you know, who will put you on toes. He calls you at get up at 5 in the morning. He's standing outside at 4:30, waiting for you. He's someone who's more focused than you. Whenever you have a dasha of a Amatya Karak Graha running in your life, you will really work hard. And when you really work hard and then you have Saturn as your Bhagya Swami, wow, you will do a lot of things with Prakram, and that is why Saturn is there in your Prakram house. Again, retrograde. Slowing down things. You see, let's discuss her. Let's understand his Navtara system. Again, so did you calculate the Disha or should I do it again here?
Sir, I've done it.
You've done it, huh? That is why I'm saying. So for you, what is
I have-
Dhanishta?
Dhanishta is Mitra.
Mitra.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Mitra. Rahu.
Ati Mitra.
Fantastic, huh? And then Jupiter is Janma.
Followed by Jupiter's Janma.
What do you think, guys? What is the first one word that you'll be telling?
Good
on.
transit.
Is it a good transit for her personally?
Yes.
Yes.
You know why I'm saying personally?
Because
Because the Saturn is going to encounter Venus, Ketu, and Mars. Okay. Saturn, because Mars is out there, Atma Karak, painful 9th house. देखिए कभी पूरे जिंदगी में अभी तक भाग्य ने साथ दिया?
कभी भी नहीं.
पेन देख रहे हो मंगल की 9th हाउस आत्मा कारक. अगर 10 लोगों की लॉटरी लगनी हो ना और 10 ही पर्चियां हो या 11 स्लिप्स हो उसके अंदर, सिर्फ एक की ना निकलनी हो, तो व्हेन यू हैव दिस आत्मा कारक इन द 9th हाउस, आपकी नहीं निकलेगी, बाकी सबकी 10 की लकी ड्रॉ निकल जाएगी. Because the entire pain area is coming from the 9th house, from the Bhagya. And it is fantastic that she entered spirituality. That is why she's learning Jyotisha. That is why she's learning higher education. She's a CA by profession, you know that? Fantastic debilitated retrograde Mercury. A debilitated retrograde Mercury behave like a, come on,
Exalted.
Exalted.
In the 10th house. She's a CA by profession. And Chandra is with it at almost 0 degree. That is why if Chandra would have been little more powerful here, she would have been a fantastic entrepreneur. But at the same time, for her transit, although the nakshatra support is there, there's a lot of nakshatra support. But on the same time, she's gonna encounter Venus. So what will Saturn do with the Venus? Come on, who's gonna tell me this?
Impact relationships.
Sorry.
Impact relationships.
Yes, it will impact relationships. In fact, there are chances that this 3-4 months, either the spouse is traveling or she's traveling, she will be away, or she'll be facing very cold environment when it comes to love and romance. I must tell you that. So, Disha,
Yes, sir.
are there any plans for your husband to work on a project and come really for next 1 or 1.5, 2 months? इतना आपसे नहीं मिल पाएंगे, ऐसा कुछ है?
As of now, nothing has come up, but I must tell you, from the time the transit has begun, okay, for him it is Daya, at the same time begun. So from the day it has, I think, started, he is hardly in Mumbai.
See?
He's hardly in Mumbai, and he's come yesterday evening, very undecided. Suddenly he went and he was asked to stay there at work and not come back. Though he was to return in a day, but he didn't come back. And I think he'll be going on and off in the next week or after that. I'm not sure. That's not decided for how long or whatever.
You see, that is the negative thing. What is, see, it is a mitra. Okay. Dhanishta is a mitra. Now you have to understand one thing here. Mitra is basically the van avastha. जब आप जंगलों में बैठ के prayers कर रहे होते हो. So when the love and romance is missing, what can she focus on? More spirituality, more mantra shastra, more research, more involvement in higher learning. And what will her Venus do? Devotion, 12th house. Venus is also lord of the 5th house. She might also get opportunity to meet her guru during this transit. You understand? Venus, teacher, devotional guru. Venus is a devotional guru. There is difference between spiritual guru and devotional guru. There is a guru that can give you spirituality. There is a guru that can give you devotion. Understand these things. And now, also you have to see where is the Mars. Mars is there in the 9th house itself. Where is Rahu? Rahu is in the 3rd house. And Rahu in the 3rd house is now getting active. What will Rahu do here? When Saturn is on the Rahu's nakshatra, she will have to start something new. She will start something new. Her communication will be reformed. The technology, she will buy something. She can buy a mobile phone. She can buy a computer. She can buy something which is related to technology. And there will be travels. The travels will also get activated. She is going to travel.
And Guruji, her parakram will increase because of this occult sign. There is also thing.
Definitely yes. Ketu Mahadasha, somebody wrote she got a dog. She got a dog. And she's dying to get a dog. Yes or no?
Yes. Yeah. But at the same time, I must be honest, I don't think I will have. In
The
fact,
health.
yesterday only we got health. No, health, yes, one of the reasons. But yesterday only I got a message that there is a beagle for adoption 4 months, and somebody knew that we wanted it desperately, so willing to give, but we didn't reply. I think because my devotion time will be gone, and taking care of the
So,
can't be
so
busy.
Venus wins over Ketu. Huh?
Yeah. So my husband was saying,
But-
like I was like, I don't
But
know.
you know
I don't
what?
know.
You know what? When will you get a dog?
I want to know that, sir.
Next year. When Saturn will touch Ketu on Purva Bhadrapada. End of next, somewhere around. That is the time you'll get a dog. You understand how these transits and how events are happening? You want to say something, Nanta?
Yeah, I was just noticing that this Saturn coming into Aquarius actually wakes up her entire chart because of the fact, the way the nakshatras are for Mars, Ketu, and Venus. Like her entire chart is alive now.
Lot of things.
Because every planet is either sitting in Saturn's nakshatra or the planets that are in Aquarius.
And obviously their moon and Mars and Ketu in Jupiter's nakshatra. So, Jupiter nakshatra is also getting activated.
Yeah, exactly. But it is because Mars and Ketu are sitting in Purva Bhadrapada, right? So that's Jupiterian nakshatra.
Yeah.
So then, like, if you just correlate that, like everything in her chart just becomes active. And the Jupiter, I mean, it's got a source of strength, right? The fact that it's in Pushya and it's very close to exaltation degrees.
It is, but it is Ati Bhadaka.
Yes. Yes. But
It
the
is
moon and
Ati
Jupiter
Bhadaka.
are in a swap. Moon and Jupiter are in a swap, right? So that moon is not that weak. It's just very close to Mars.
See, it is not that weak. The only problem with this moon is that, this moon gives headaches. This moon gives severe migraine. What do you call it?
Migrates. No.
Migraine.
Migraine.
So do you have these problems, Disha? Severe
Sir,
migraine?
I don't have migraine. As of now, I do not have migraine, but I do have high blood pressure, due to which I have. And another thing is I have that, I don't know, after my transplant, I think got it. Trigeminal neuralgia, disease that you once mentioned Salman Khan had.
Oh, the head. Over the head.
Yes.
Yeah. You see, this moon here can give you a problem related to your head. Simple.
Yeah. This is pretty intense move that Saturn made, because her Saturn is Virgotam and it's going to be looking at itself in transit. So what is that? How's that gonna
See, that's what I said, that she's going to be pushed, in this transit for 2.5 years. Saturn will make her so disciplined, so organized in her sadhana. It is going to be a biggest push of her life. That thrust that you're waiting for in your life to just go up and do certain things which are fantastic. So in these 2.5 years, whatever she has been learning, the time has come to manifest it. She will manifest so many things in her life, because of which her personal life can be little cold, but definitely a lot of things will end. And that is where I said in the beginning of this class, you must go and watch Richa ji's video, where we have Saturn Ketu thing, something that you will just finish it, that you were doing for a long time, and something that you'll start again. Something new with better technology, better vision, better energy, with a lot of discipline, lot of motivation, and lot of courage. That's what Saturn will do here, because Mars, Atma Karak, is a graha of courage. It has a lot of energy here. So courage of learning new things, courage of understanding what is real God. Actual में भगवान क्या है? Because 9th house is not house of religion. God doesn't have any religion. If you think God is Hindu, you're wrong. If you think God is Sikh, you're wrong. Whenever an Atma Karak or an Amatya Karak Graha transits the 9th house, and if it is a Vargottama, it will make you realize what is real God. What is real Guru? Bhagwan kya hai? Guru kya hai? God kya hai? Paramatma kya hai? So it is very important transit for her.
Yeah,
It is a
a total
good.
transformation of home and work.
On the same time, Saturn is going to look at her 11th house also from the third aspect.
Yeah.
Right? So her daira of samaj, society will increase. You know, relationships. Although there will be restrictions on hopes, wishes, and desires, but she will have a lot of people coming in relations who will seek advice. She will be looking at many people to give them advice and tell them that this is what is real spirituality, real God is. On the same time, it is a Raj Yoga when Saturn is transiting in the 9th house and aspecting the natal Saturn.
Mm.
And Raj Yoga is not always with money. Raj Yoga is with prosperity. So it is going to be a very prosperous transit for her. And then Saturn will also be aspecting her Bhrigu Bindu point. Right? She will understand the real purpose of her existence. Very strong chances. Utilize this transit, Dishaji. You know, do maximum mantras. Whatever studies you have not done, just do it right now. Revise things. You wish to start a career, you know, we can discuss personally. Start a career. Start a career. You will do well.
I'm not very confident, sir. I don't know why I'm not confident.
You know, the problem is with your
Sun.
with the Chandra.
Yeah. I mean, I know it this way, but internally, I said I don't understand.
The
I'm
problem
not
is,
confident.
see, you know, confidence comes with sun and moon. I must tell you. These are the two things that can give you confidence. Both sun and moon are Marak for you. Both of them. Right? Although sun has directional strength, okay, because of which you have good communication skill. You can communicate well, you can write well, you studied well. But you know what? You know you can do it, but your mind says that, no, I don't think so. ये होगा नहीं मेरे से. At the last moment, आपका मन कह सकता है कि ये होगा नहीं मेरे से. In the last moment. जो एक कभी-कभी एक question आता होता है हमें in the paper, but suddenly you go blank for a minute. But when you start writing, then you remember everything. I think this would have happened with everyone. So only the beginning is the problem for you here. Once you begin, everything will be smooth. And after almost 30 years, you have this opportunity to rejuvenate yourself. Almost 30 years. के बाद ये opportunity आई आपके पास. Yes, Shashank.
So Guruji, although the nakshatra of Jupiter will be good for her in the last phase of the transit, but
she will become dependent. She will
yes,
become dependent on certain things in her life. For an example, sorry.
No, good. And it will. What I was saying is it is Badak as well, which is 6 from Saturn, and which is in the 6th house in D9 as well.
Yes.
So she needs to be careful around that area.
See, what she needs to be careful is the health. Okay, she needs to be very careful with respect to the health when Saturn enters the Jupiterian padas. Right, got to be very, very careful with that. One. Second, you know what? Jupiter in the 7th house is also related to marriage, associations. She got to be very careful with the associations as well. Right? Just because of communication, the associations can go bad. They can be argumentative scenarios with husband and people whom you trust. You've got to have patience when Saturn is in the in the padas of Jupiter, and you have both Ketu and Mars with lot of Agni sitting there, which can enhance your communication skills, but on the same time, which can make you rude or which can put you in a conversation which is not healthy. Okay, because Saturn energy is very argumentative energy. Saturn argues a lot. I must tell you that. So you've got to be careful with your communication with your husband, with some very close people, which can actually have conflicts in a relationship. ये problem आ सकता है. Rajeshwar.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I had just now, because of the exchange of Jupiter and Moon is going to its own house like Cancer. And I remember you told one of the most difficult positions of Moon is being in Cancer.
Yeah.
Extremely emotional.
Yeah.
Would that also have an impact because of this?
You see, what is happening here is that Moon, is not powerful. It is in a miracle degree. What happens here is that if she just do a start, as I said, that example I've given, that at times you look at a question and you say, "Mujhe nahi aata hai. I can't do it. I don't know this." But then you start writing, and वो करते, if you are a science student, if you're a physics or a chemistry student, suddenly you'll realize you've done the entire equation. You've done the entire question. Right? That is what will happen with her with this Moon. And to take care of this Moon, one thing that she has to really see, what? She's born around Amavasya. ये बात याद रखना. Right? So she has to get this Moon problem sorted in her chart. She has to become the devotee of Ma Kali. Right? Ma Kali. And there is a mantra of Ma Kali that she can do every day. And that mantra, it's actually a bija mantra that says cream. Cream is the bija mantra. So she can meditate on this mantra. Cream, cream, cream. It's not clean. It's cream. Ra, ma. Cream, cream, cream. This mantra can make her Moon strong. Right, Rajeshwar?
Ji, Guruji.
Sir, I had something to say. Now, we discussed the Janam Nakshatras, whenever the Moon transits over the Janam Nakshatras, we become dependent based on the Navtara, is what we've learned. But I have observed whenever Moon transits over Vishaka, Purva Bhadrapad, or Punarvasu, I become very active that day. In fact, I don't depend on anybody. I do all my work by my own self, and as in even maids are not there.
That's where the catch is. You just said it yourself. You become dependent on your work. You see, you become very workaholic. You said, "I keep working. See, that's the Kali Yuga. That's how you become so dependent on your work, so conscious on your work.
Yeah, work, meditation, and the mantra.
So
not
that
really
is your
meditation.
dependency now.
Yes.
You answered it yourself. Yeah, see, if I'm dependent on my work and I'm not giving anything to my family, and my family will say that you're just depending on your work, we are nothing for you. My wife can say it to me, isn't?
Coach, you have a question.
Yeah.
So it just occurred to me when she said Janma Nakshatra and all, since we're using the Navtara system, which is based on the Vimshotri Dasha, right?
Yeah.
Order.
Yeah.
And Vimshotri Dasha is a nakshatra which starts with the moon.
Yeah.
Janma Nakshatra.
Yeah.
So when we evaluate, should we look at it from the moon and not the ascendant? Because we are trying to figure out, like, which house will get impacted, right?
And we should look at from the moon as well as the ascendant, both. Both. Because moon is starting your time period. Ascendant is something which is inside you. See something, see if there is cold outside, okay? Suppose it is -20 outside, okay? So outside environment is started from the Chandra. That, and the way you're feeling that cold is what is your ascendant. From your body, inside your body. Some people will not feel cold at -20. Some people will die in -20.
And in Hora lecture, you have told this, Guruji, that actually moon is the fastest
Or
moving
maybe,
planet.
yes, or maybe, Nanta, you're asking something else and I'm replying something else. What are you trying to ask? Can you elaborate more?
Well, I just kind of feel like, we all know the answer, like the ascendant is the physical world that manifests, but the moon is how we perceive it. But it's really our perception that manifests things, right? So I almost feel like if we were to look at it based on the moon making Pisces the ascendant in her case, right? Then how we associate, like, right now we're saying, oh, sun has directional is Digbal and Mercury is in great spot, but that changes.
No. You're mixing and matching both things. When we are saying Surya has a Digbala, we are talking of something, the energy she's carrying from the previous birth. Okay, that's the base. That's the base. But when we are talking of the transits, we are talking of the events, how that basic energy will work during the transit. That is the transit. Surya with the direction strength is the table. And on the table, now we are going to place different things with different colors. So you have to keep these two things separate, and you have to just keep a base of the Surya, that Surya is with the direction strength. Internally, she has the confidence. It is the mind that tells her that nahi, mere se nahi hoga. Disha.
Right. I see what you're saying, but so then I have another question that comes up based on that, which is when you're looking at the transit through the Lagna, and we're saying, oh, Saturn is moving into the 9th house, which is your Bhagya house, and it's activating such and such planets, the tattvas change then, right?
Of course.
Right. So if we look at Saturn's tattvas based on the house system, right? It's the 3rd house, it's the 7th house, it's the 8th house, it's the 12th house. It has a say in it from a planet tattva base. But if we were to then look at it from the moon, those houses change, the Rashis change. I mean, the houses don't change, but the Rashis change.
Yeah. And they will only impact mentally, not the physical manifestation.
Right.
Of course, it will change. That is what I'm saying. -20 degree outside for some people is okay. But for some people, it is not okay. Even -5 degrees. That we can look from the moon. When I started the nakshatra class, what is the basic difference I explained about the ascendant nakshatra and the janma nakshatra? Ascendant nakshatra is something which is inside you. Internally, how you react to a situation. Janma nakshatra is creating the environment outside you. You understand? So if there is going to be rain outside, whether you like it or not, will depend upon your ascendant. You like rain or you hate rain. So what is more important? Is it the rain that is more important, or it is the you who is more important? Your feeling is more important. If you like it, fine. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
Right, I understood. But I guess when we look at transits, right, of course, we each individual and their mind and how they perceive things is conditioned based on how they're raised in their environment. But when we look at the transition, we're really trying to figure out
From the
tangible
moon.
events that might transpire.
Yeah,
right?
from the moon, yes. And that is the reason we picked up the Navtara system as the base. At the very first place to find out whether the transit will be good or bad, we've just jumped to the Navtara system because transits are to be seen from the moon.
Right. So, okay, then I'm sorry, more question. So you know how when we say that dashas tell us what and transit tell us why. So should we look at it from dasha perspective? Because there are a lot of yogas that could be forming, but not everyone's going and not everything gets fructified unless you're in the right dasha. So if we were to say, if we spin it to Aquarius, her chart, right, which is Ketu, and then really look at it from that perspective.
Okay, so that's it. Now this is Pisces, this is moon. Now we can see it's the transit is happening in the 12th house.
No, she's in Ketu dasha, so we'll make Aquarius.
Okay, you want to, okay, the dasha system. Okay, yeah, okay, here it is. Now
Right.
this is the dasha chart for her.
Right. So
Yeah.
now Saturn is in Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I think what I'm trying to do in my mind maybe is just seeing what parts of life will get affected by switching it to the dasha, because now we know which houses will get affected, right? Like in that sense, mainly. Because
Okay.
I guess maybe it's my shortcoming that I need to see it visually.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
See,
because-
what we have to do it for the transits as of now, you just keep it from the Lagna and the Chandra. Okay. And how do you take Dasha? Dasha is the overall flavor of your life. It's the overall command in your life. Right now, Ketu is commanding her life. And there are events and transitions happening under the CEO, the top boss Ketu. That's how you should look at it. So top boss Ketu is giving a flavor of Jyotisha, spirituality, learning occult sciences, research and development, that is there. But while she is doing all these things, what is happening with certain planets moving on her 9th house from the Lagna and 12th house from the Chandra, that is how we should take it. That is the organized way of looking at somebody's life. Okay? Okay, that's how you should do. So if you want to understand a dasha, first look at what is dasha doing in our life. What are the basic traits of dasha? Okay? You go back and just listen to what I've said again and again, and then superimpose those things on the pictorial charts, and then you'll understand what I'm trying to tell you. We had similar assumptions when we were learning Jyotisha. When I was, still I'm a learning mode, but then, in the beginning, first couple of years, I had, okay, let me make Surya as a Lagna. But Surya as a Lagna has a very different principle, right? We look Dhani yogas from there, we look Kuber yogas from there, as I've explained to you. Then let me see Chandra let me make Mars as a Lagna. Let me make Jupiter as a Lagna. Let me see how is Guru going to behave in his Kundli. Let me make, Rahu as a Lagna, how technology will behave in my life, or how this Rahu Dasha would do. So we have different ways of understanding a chart through making different planets as the Lagna. But when we are looking at transits, try to have your focus on from the moon and from the ascendant. These two things. Okay? Right. So this is about Gemini. So we can do one more if you want. Let me see if we can do one more. We can do Neeraj Gandhiji's for Cancer. Okay. So let's do Neeraj Gandhiji's for the Cancer. Okay. So Neeraj, could you please tell your date of birth?
Yes, sir. Hare Krishna, sir.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
This is 2nd February 1964.
2nd Feb
64.
1964.
16:35 time.
16:35 is the time.
And place is Hapur, UP.
Okay, Uttar Pradesh, and it's Hapur.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right, sir. Thank you.
Okay. What is the first observation? What is Saturn here? What is Saturn here?
Halakarka.
And what else?
It's making Vipareet Raj Yoga.
It's a
Okay.
Marak.
It's a
Marak.
Marak. That's the first thing that we put in our
It's a
mind.
Marak,
It's
yeah.
a Marak
Marak.
Graha. Okay. And it is in the 11th house itself. Now, Saturn is going to transit over the natal Saturn. That's the first thing. That's the first observation. Keep it on the parking lot. Obviously, we have Venus there, which is also Atma Karak. So a painful place. 8th house is a painful house.
Yes, sir.
Marak-
And it's in
Yeah.
Dhanishta.
What is
Saturn
in-
is in Dhanishta nakshatra.
Yeah, Saturn is in Dhanishta Nakshatra.
Yes.
And Mangal is in the 7th house, exalted.
Yes, sir.
Right? So what can happen here? The first thing, but have you calculated your Navatara system?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is Dhanishta?
Dhanishta is Sampat.
Sampat. Okay. And
Shatabhija is Vipat.
Vipat. Okay.
And
Rahu.
Purva Bhadrapada is Kshema.
Okay. So the middle part,
Yes, sir.
you know, where you have the Saturn transit over your Rahu is going to be little turbulent here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But on the same time, जैसे परवीन जी ने बताया, he identified something, Vipareet Raj Yoga. You know, honestly speaking, Vipareet Raj Yogas are powerful yogas. I'll be very honest with you.
Because
I've
in
seen-
Vipareet Paristiti, you have said that the person in a difficult situation, it will come out
It
definitely.
will
one
come
day.
out very well. And you know what? Since your Mars is exalted in the 7th house, there will be definitely financial gains. For sure. And
Yes, sir.
financial gains to whom? To your Dharakar, to your spouse.
Husband, yes, sir.
Definitely very good, productive 2 months till 14th March for your spouse. Very good. Because this is happening in the 7th house of associations. There will be some disagreements and there will be some agreements. You will feel powerful. Aren't you feeling powerful since last 3 days?
Yes, I am, sir.
You will feel powerful. There's no doubt about it. And your Saturn is a happy Saturn from your DNA.
Guruji, shall I ask you one question?
Yes.
This Vipareet Raj Yoga, I just want to recall it. You have said that whether it is debilitated, exalted, whatever position it is a Vipareet Raj Yoga.
Yeah.
So is it true?
It is a Raj Yoga. It is Vipareet Raj Yoga. Is विपत होता है क्या है कि आप जो एक चीज आप एक राइट डायरेक्शन में चल रहे हो, आप वहां से यू टर्न लेते हो and you become much better. That is a Vipareet Raj Yoga. Right? Something that you've never done before, you do it and you come out very well.
Thank you.
Right? Someone who's very defensive, suddenly he stops getting defensive and he becomes little aggressive and he becomes powerful. Right? That is how Vipareet Raj Yogas work. And there are 1,000 examples to understand Vipareet Raj Yogas, not just one. Okay? So one thing is for sure that the initial 2-3 months, but then this Rahu thing is something that you have to take care. Now, what is Rahu doing? Where is Rahu? Rahu is in the
It's in the
Dvadash.
12th house. Yes.
Okay, 12th house, but it is on the Dagda Rashi. Okay, lots of meditation is going to come. Lot of spirituality. Your hidden skill will come out with this Rahu. You will get so much attracted to Shiva. Rahu is in your Adra, right? Lot of Shiva bhakti. You should immediately start Shiva Sahasranama. Start Shiva Sahasranama immediately, and you'll find yourself This is a time to increase your learning, your meditation, because Rahu in the Dwadash Bhava on the Dagda Rashi is good, it's not bad.
So want to tell you one thing.
Yeah.
I'm losing all my interest in kitchen. Don't
I
feel
suppose.
like cooking. I mean,
And you were a very passionate
obviously,
cook.
yes, I was. I don't feel like trying out new things now, which my family expects me to do, especially my kids, my son and my daughter. I don't feel like doing it. And if I skip my meditation, I feel so disturbed.
That's the
And
vibration.
suddenly,
and
suddenly
because
from
of,
Ram Ram, I'm shifting to Om Namah Shivaya. I don't know why.
Yes, that's the activation of Rahu in the Adra in the Dwadash Bhava. This is where Shiva sits. This is Kailash. द्वादश भाव का राहु कैलाश है, कैलाश पर्वत है. You are actually mentally going to Kailash every day. You're going, doing a sadhana and then coming back. Going, doing a sadhana and coming back. You are imagining Kailash every day. And if you're not, you will be doing it. And then your Atma Karak Venus, 4th house. Major reforms in the 4th house. Venus is going to give you transformation. During this transit, you are planning to buy a car under your name. So at the bhotik level, we are looking that we are buying a car. Okay? But what is that car going to give you? The car is going to give you an EMI. So EMI is a pain, Atma Karak pain. You see, that is how Atma Karak works. उसने आपको कोई चीज दी. That is a very bhotik thing. That is bhukti thing. And you're not going to drive that. You can just sit in that car. But it has given you an EMI on the name. That's how Atma Karak works. Karma settlements. On the same time, Venus is also your 11th lord in the 8th house. You will get more introvert.
Yes, I don't feel like
talking
to. Yes, don't feel like.
You will not feel like. You will now, during this transit, forget about talking. You will not feel like meeting anyone. Talking is a small thing. You will not feel like meeting anyone. Trust me, you will not feel like. That's something that happens. Technically, again, it is mixed results. In the beginning, it is fantastic. In the middle, you've got to be careful. Do not trust anyone in the Rahu, in the Satabisha transit. Do not give away your money. Do not sign a paper without thinking. You need to take care of your cervical and your health. You need to take care of your feet. When I say you need to take care of feet, you can go to a wrong direction. It's not that कि आपकी physically पाँव में problem आएगी. It is that you can take a wrong direction in your life. Don't go in that wrong direction. You can take a wrong decision in your life. But on the same time, I must tell you that your Rahu is in the Viparit Raj Yoga itself. So both Saturn and both Rahu are in Viparit Raj Yogas. In the Vipat, in the difficult situations, you are going to come out very well.
Mercury also, Guruji.
And this Venus is your Atma Karak. Venus for you is your daughter. You will also get your daughter married in this period. Because Atma Karak karmic settlement will happen. आपके चौथे घर में एक फीमेल की कमी आ जाएगी. But on the same time, you might also get a daughter-in-law in this period. Venus is an Atma Karak. So both two major things will happen, because Venus is conjuncted Moon in the Navamsha. So feminine energy
sir.
will come. If one female will go, the other female will come. This is what is there for you in this transit, one of the most important transits of your life. There will be pains, there will be situations, but only Shiva will take you out of this, nothing else. Do Shiva Sahasranama every single day.
I feel like learning more, but I'm not able to reach that level. So I feel so frustrated from inside.
Of course you will. But then only Shiva will take you out of this. Ladies and gentlemen, are you understanding how transits work? Sudhanshu ji, क्या सोच रहे हो?
नहीं गुरुजी, हम just absorbing all the knowledge.
हाँ, समझ में आ रहा है?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, thoroughly.
Okay, so if we do, all the 12 lagnas, you will be very proficient in understanding so many things. I'll try to have a class in the middle if possible. In the middle, someday in the week, we can do, so that, it will not be a compulsory class. Whosoever can join the class can join the class, because it is working in western part of the world, working days. But we'll try a class at 10:30 in the night, 10ish in the night, so that people here in India can join, and we can do certain more lagnas, because one lagna is taking 15 minutes, right? So I have to say a lot on this transit also, because from here Saturn is going to look at her 10th house also, right, from the third aspect, which is again something that you have to be careful with, because being a housewife, you got to be careful with certain decisions at home. You will feel little restricted. As she was saying, she doesn't like to go home to work in the kitchen. She just want to meditate all the time. From there, it is going to aspect the second house of Vani. She might feel restricted in terms of her communication. There will be major decisions that will happen in the kutumba, which is rishtedari, relatives. Major organized, disciplined things will happen. Especially Viparit Raj Yogas are getting active. So she might have to take a U-turn, a completely different behavior pattern with the kutumba to win certain situations in life. That's how it works, ladies and gentlemen.